Hello everyone, welcome back to NoTech. In this video, we can see how to handle the autocomplete select list in Selenium. Let's get started. This is the web page where we are going to write the script. So here we have the text box, and here we need to pass any text, any letter. For example, here I am entering the letter as J and I need to select JavaScript from the list. So this is the scenario which we are going to do. So let's see how we can write the script for this. Go to your Eclipse IDE, go to your package, right click, select new and then select class. Give the class name. Select this checkbox and click on the finish button. Now we need to launch the web browser. WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. Now we need to open the web page. For that, driver dot get. Here we need to paste the URL. Copy this URL and paste here. Here it is showing one error. We need to import the Firefox driver. Now we need to enter the text or letter in this text box. So before we saw an example, we need to enter the text in the Google search text box. So the same script we need to write here also. So we are passing the letter J. So before that, we need to identify this web element. Right click from this text box, go to inspect, and this is the element, and here we have ID. So we can identify the element by ID. Copy this ID. So write web element text box equal to driver dot find element by dot ID. Here inside double quotes we need to paste the ID. We need to import this web element. Now we need to pass the text here. So for that we have a function. We are passing the text letter J. So to pass the text, in Selenium we have the function send keys. So text box dot send keys of J. Now let's run the script. So it is showing one error. So let's find the reason. So here if you can see, so this text box is inside an iframe. So we need to switch the control from the main web page to this frame. So once we identify this URL, once we open the URL, we need to transfer the control. Driver dot switch to dot frame of 0. So in this page there is no other frames, so we can give the index as 0. Now let's run the script again. Now the text is entered. So now we need to select this JavaScript from this list. So here we have a list of 3 items. So we need to store all these items in this list in a list web element, and from there we need to select this JavaScript. So let's write the script for that. Driver dot find elements, since we have more than one item in the list, by dot. So right click from this list item and go to inspect. So this we have an unordered list of items. So we need to copy the XPath of this list. Copy XPath. So we can identify by XPath, by dot XPath of, and remove this double quotes and change to single quotes. And one more thing we already explained in our previous video. So here we need all the items in this list. So if we inspect this element, it will return only one element. So we need all the list items. So for that, add an li to this XPath. Now it will identify all the items in the list and store this in a list web element, list of list items. And here import this list utility. Okay, so it will return the list. So if you want to confirm, we can print the number of items in the list and check. System.out.println list items dot size of. So this will return the number of items in the list. Now let's run the script and check. Again the result is 0. That means there is a delay while loading the items in the list. So we can add a delay of 5 seconds here. Thread dot sleep of 5 seconds. Now run the script again. Now we got the number of items in the list as 3. Now we can see how to select this item JavaScript from the list. So since we have multiple items and we need to do an iteration. So for that we need to use a for each loop. For each, now press Control space. So it will load the variable names and the methods as per the variable names we declared. So this is the list of items which we stored the list items here, and for each iteration it will store the list item in this web element variable. So in the first iteration it will store the first element here and so on. Now so here we have 3 items in the list: Clojure, Java and JavaScript. So if the while I go iterating to the list, so if the item name is JavaScript, we need to click on JavaScript. So let's see how we can write. So inside this for each we need to add a if condition. If this web element dot get text dot equals JavaScript. Then click on that element. So web element dot click. And now we need to break. So if we identify the element, so we no need to iterate to all other elements in the list. Let me explain this again. So first we are opening the web URL, switching the control from the main web page to the corresponding frame, then identify the text box by ID, then we are passing a text J, and then we are storing all the items in this list, and then we are printing the list size, and we are iterating each element through a for each loop. And So here it will take the first item, and in the first iteration it will store the first item in the list in this web element variable, and then it will check whether the first text is equal to JavaScript, then click. So if not, it will iterate to the second element and it will go on. Then once we identify the correct element which we expected, then we will break the statement. So let's run the script again. So the JavaScript item is selected. Hope you understand this. If you have any clarification, please mention in the comments. Please like this video and subscribe to NoTech. Thank you.